then I'm locked in quick. From the ground to the peak, yeah, I built that brick. Business like sports, I bleed for this. Leadership, hustle in my callous fist. Hit that brainwave switch, then I'm from the ground to the finance script. Neurons run laps when the doubt told out. I reroute tracks, take a different route. Connectivity buzzing like a huddle at half. I pass vision out, then we all attach. Chest day meetings, leg day calls. Heavy decision, low rep, high cost. Still I stack habits like reps on a rack. Discipline deposit, interest comes back.
Who leads when it hurts? Who speaks when it's tense? Who shares every win? Who holds every L? I coach my own mind from the bench to the hill. Every thought is a drill. Every fear gets felt.
FACE, lacy, racing. Heart rate rise, but I still embrace it. Business like sports, I train for this. Money, power, respect, that game I lead. Hit that brainwave switch, then I'm locked in quick. From the ground to the peak, yeah, I built that brick. Business like sports, I train for this. Money, power, respect, that game I live.
Wake up different, brain rewired overnight, same old mirror. But the eyes got higher light, turn my doubts into data that I track. Every setback is a map to bounce me back, yeah. I've been studying my fears like a science, turning every little can to compliance. Every thought is a choice, redesign it. Watch me, watch me. New pathways, firing like fireworks in my head, yeah. Big paydays coming from the work that I bled. Give respect when I walk in, growth in my veins, I change and I lock in. Transform, transform. I'm paid in ways you can't ignore. New pathways, I'll never think the way I did before. Used to freeze when the pressure hit my chest, now I breathe. Turn that pressure into flex, count these wins. Like I used to count my flaws, stacking habits till they turn to written laws. I've been training every thought like a muscle. Every maybe that I had, now it hustles. Wiring my mind for the hustle and the hustle. Watch me, watch me. New pathways, firing like fireworks in my head. Big paydays coming from the work that I bled. Power in my pocket, respect when I walk in. Growth in my veins, I change and I lock in. Ignore. From panic to power, from story to fact, I rewrite the hour, I redraw the map. From silence to speaking, from waiting to act. Every tiny decision is compounding my steps. New pathways, firing like fireworks in my head. Big paydays coming from the work that I bled. Power in my pocket, respect when I walk in. Growth in my veins, I change and I lock in. Transform, transform. I'm paid in ways you can't adore.
Going on? What's going on? How you feel in the chat? Go ahead and put how you feel in the chat. You know your next level is loading. Go ahead and put next level in the chat.
Eyes open in the morning, mind moving like a market. Got a notebook full of targets. Heart full, that's the profit. Dream chaser, go getter, go giver. Pole game, cold weather, warm liver. Eat books, small circle, big vision. Turn losses into labs, that's revision. Rich is the lesson, broke is the excuse. Growth is the asset, compound truth. Money, power, respect, that's a tool set. Character, the credit line ain't rate yet. Neurons fire when I write this script. Brainwave switch, let it light this trip. Rewire fear, turn pressure to a prayer. Every can't do, disappear in the air. Brainwave switch, I flip that. Turn one plan into 6 pass. Growth in the vault, I'm rich in that. Money, power, respect, yeah, it's bigger when we give it back. Brainwave switch, I live that. Turn one doubt into dispatch. Growth in the vault, I'm rich in that. Money, power, respect, yeah, it's bigger when we give it back. New lane, still real, no gimmick. Got grace, got grind, both in it. New Rossins in the way I choose. Change thoughts, change routes, change views. Connectivity, we all one signal. Pour into the fam, let the winds ripple. I don't flex cash.
Energy, you are the best of the best, top of the top, cream of the crop, and believe it. If somebody else tells you otherwise, they're lying to you. Let's just be honest here. Let's be real. So today on the Mindset Mondays, we are going to get clarity around when it's time to become more effective in less time. Obviously, the whole goal for us is to allow ourselves to connect deeper, allow ourselves to live the life that we want, to manifest what you want based upon your abilities to communicate, your abilities to orchestrate, imaginate, and also implement. Okay, so first things first. If you were with us this past weekend, go ahead and put a takeaway in the chat from this weekend. If you weren't with us, this is more of a reason to be with us when we have these events. Not only did we set up shop in New York City, we did it in different parts of the city, different boroughs. We were in Brooklyn on Friday. We had a whole financial forum, which was amazing, and a networking event, which was powerful. We also had on Saturday giving back. We gave to, I like to call it giving forward, by the way, but we gave to over 500 people and plus, right? Meals. We're talking about hot meals, being able to help people just have something warm, be appreciated. And it's free, right? So who wouldn't want to have some free food that's nourishing, that's powerful, that's inspiring? And we had a lot of the brothers come out, and it was a movement. And that's what we're looking to continue to build, a movement. So if you want to be part of the movement in person and you just don't want to be on the Zoom, but you would love to be in the room, I want you to go ahead and send me a DM, and I want you to tell me what you want. Do you want to come to the community meetups? Would you like to come out to our mobile meetups and our events that we have for the community? Be my guest and show up. We do have them in Atlanta. We have them across the country. We have them in anywhere in the country. We've done it in California. We've done it in Texas. And we've obviously done them outside of the country as well, but predominantly inside the country. All right, cool. So let's get straight to it, man. Let's get straight to it. The mindset portion around becoming more effective in less time. Whether you believe it or not, your primary goal is to be more effective in less time at whatever it is that you do, so that way you can enjoy what you do. Now, that might sound like a lot, right? Because it's like, okay, what? But you get to choose the what. When it comes to finances, how much money would you like to collect? Put the answer in the chat. How much money would you like to collect? In fact, let me bring up the chat. I will be going back and forth from YouTube, Zoom, and Instagram to check the chat. Right now, I don't see any people. I see one person. Go ahead and let people know we're live. 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 So if you're on Instagram, send this live out to 5 people. All right, cool. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and put some comments in the chat. Go ahead and put some comments in the chat. So the money that you want to collect, whether it's monthly, whether it's yearly, whether it is daily, has a ceiling and it has a floor, right? And whatever you've been hitting as far as the ceiling goes, do you believe that somebody else has that as a floor? So if your 1 million a year is your ceiling, you're saying, hey, I haven't hit that yet. That's where I want to go, right? That's where I know I'm at the top. But that could be somebody else's floor, right? That could be someone else's floor. So the way that you look at life is dependent on your perspective. If you're walking on the earth, but you're flying on a plane or you're in a helicopter, your perspective looks different. You can see more from a higher view. So when we think about getting to another level, we always want to think higher, because the higher you are with the way that you think, the more opportunity you can lend to yourself. And remember, opportunity is based on the level of attraction that you carry, attraction that you offer. And we're not just talking about if you're attractive physically. We know that there's characteristics that make you attractive. So let's play the game: more attractive or less attractive. If you can speak well, are you more attractive or less attractive? More attractive or less attractive? If you can communicate, which means speak and interpret, are you more attractive, less attractive? Because it's one thing just to be able to talk, but can you interpret emotional intelligence? Could you interpret allowing space for someone else to speak? Could you interpret knowing the right times to be able to insert yourself in situations? Is it more attractive or less attractive if you obtain those skills? All right, good, good. Hold on real quick. So if you are more attractive or less attractive, you get opportunities based upon your situation. If you're less attractive, people give you less opportunities. That's not being in vanity, and it's not being in a shameful way. It's saying that just like this: if you were driving down the street and you got out your car and you were walking into a place, would you want someone to greet you in the place with bummy clothes, clothes dirty, smelling bad, or do you want them to greet you with clothes looking nice, smelling good? Just answer the question in the chat. Just so that we can get clarity here. Like, and I think most of us would choose a particular option. Okay, that's just what I believe. So now that we understand that, we have a baseline understanding of what that means, regardless of whether you believe it or not, people are going to judge you. I know we hear about, oh, I don't want to be judged. Don't judge. No, that's not true. You should judge, because everything you do is based upon your judgment. You were given free will. You have the autonomy to make the judgment. Doesn't matter what you're referring to. Even if you're driving down the street, you're making a judgment whether you should step on the gas and go X amount of miles, or whether you should make the left turn, right turn, right? So all of those things matter. Remember, all of those things matter. So your judgment matters, right? Your judgment is paramount to your success. Your judgment is paramount to your success. Now, when it comes to you being able to elevate in business, it's the same thing. Your judgment is paramount to your success. But there's something in your judgment, right? It's something in your character. And one of the things that we don't talk about in character, because we talk about the other things, like I mentioned, being able to communicate, being able to be punctual, is part of a great characteristic. Now, some of us know that. There's certain people who you get a timestamp on an event, right? Hey, the event is getting ready to happen at 5 o'clock. Are you there at 4:30, or are you there at 5:05 or 5:30? Because I know there's certain events, there's certain functions, you're going to be there late if that's what you choose to be. And in certain functions with certain people, I'm never late. That's how they feel. Like I'm never going to be late. I don't care what it is. If they told me if it's 5 p.m., I'm showing up at 4:30 regardless. I don't care what it is. But you let me know in the chat and be honest about it. Be honest about it. And I'll give you a scenario why this is important, because let's say you're going to get your brand new job. You got a brand new job. You're hype about this job. You're excited about this job. Chances are you are showing up early to this job when you first get the job. But after a few months, in some cases, some of y'all, after a few weeks, what happens with your timeliness? What happens with your tardiness? What happens with the way that you show up, you being punctual? It starts to dwindle, right? It starts to take a hit. It starts like this. First, I'm there 20 minutes early or 15 minutes early. Then it starts to dwindle. Now you're there right on time. And then one day it happens where you're a little bit late. And then from there, that snowballs. So now you just show up, 5 minutes late. You show up maybe 10 minutes late. You show up, 6 minutes late here and there. So as a human, you naturally are going to be in this space of correction. So don't beat yourself up if you're not where you want to be, because you're right where you need to be. If you look at where you were and you say, oh, I'm not where I used to be. So now that we know that your progression is paramount to your success, your level of attraction is paramount to your opportunity, then you now need to factor in how effective you are with the opportunities you get, because every moment is what? Put it in chat. An opportunity. So if every moment is an opportunity, and the opportunity that you get in your life makes your life either great or not so great, then every opportunity that you get, you should be doing what? Maximizing. So when somebody say it's about you, you should feel comfortable. But most of us don't feel comfortable about saying it's all about me. But I want you to get comfortable in here today. Put in the chat, it's all about me. It's all about me. When we say it's all about me, we're saying ME, right? Me. But what we're referring to is maximizing everything. So now go ahead and put that in the chat, maximizing everything. When you start to think about you, are you maximizing your opportunities? Because you're looking to help other people, but how could you help others if you're not helping yourself? How could you truly be at your highest level if you're not maximizing on what you have? Because believe it or not, when you're looking to help people, that means you're giving up some of your resources, which means that you'll be less of. I remember I was giving all my money away, family members and friends. But then I realized not a lot of people was pouring back into me and giving me anything. And now you do have a select few of people that could do it and do see it. And I'm appreciative of that. I remember back in the pandemic, let me give you a quick story. So pandemic happened, right? So I'm running my businesses. My businesses are flourishing. I'm doing the Airbnb. I'm doing the studio, doing all these things, video editing. I'm making a lot of money, right? And I'm having people work for me and with me. And I'm, giving out money here and there. And when everyone needed it, I'm dishing it. And it was a time that pandemic came and it slowed up all of my money. And I sat and watched my money dry. Why? Because during that pandemic time, we weren't allowed to meet. All of my businesses was based upon meeting people in person. You had to come physically to my Airbnb. I didn't have a virtual Airbnb. You had to physically be here. Pandemic said no. I couldn't really have you record in the studio because pandemic said no. So all of my money opportunities, once in a while I went out to record, but even they were getting strict on that. So my money dried up to the point where one of my friends, a couple of my friends, they gave me some money. One of my friends gave me like $60. And to me, I was like, wow, $60? I was grateful for the $60. It's just $60, but I was so grateful because I'm not used to having people give me anything. Like everything that I have, I'm earning. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you want to accept help. You want people to be able to help you. But I'm telling you, if you're looking to help people, you must get yourself in a place where you're maximizing everything, because other people around you who may not be in your situation will take from your resources, regardless of how you look at it, regardless of how they look at it. That's what's happening. So if you can't afford to have someone take from your resource bank, something that's going to happen is called resentment. And now you start getting these feelings with people. And then inside your mind, you stop being that outgoing person. You stop trusting people. You stop being the version of you that created the opportunities that you had gotten because somebody did you wrong and that's how you felt, or because someone didn't pay you back, or whatever the case may be. Are we following so far? So if you're maxing everything, then you can truly help. And then that is what would allow you to be able to get more money, more opportunity, because you're maximizing on your looks. You're maximizing on your ability to be the best version of yourself and to allow your resources to accumulate. So why do we say this? We break it down to now because becoming more effective in less time is your ultimate goal within whatever that you do. So you may see the side quests, the tasks, but the whole purpose is you versus you. Somebody put in the chat, me versus me. When you realize that this life is really about you versus you, it's not about competition with other people. They might compete with you, yeah, but it's about collaboration. If you want to work by yourself, there might be a chance you can complete some things, but even in that, that's a lie. You never completed anything by yourself because you didn't make all the components that it took for you to complete anything that you've ever done in your life. And the simplest way to realize this is this. When you have clothes on your body, who made them clothes? Who made the material? When you're taking transportation, who made those vehicles? So just as simple as that, even down to who helped groom you. Yeah, I cut my own hair. All right, cool. Yeah. But what did we just say? You still wear clothes, right? So, all right, cool. Now you understand that anything I do in this world is going to involve other people, but that's also where the hack is at. All of the potential that you're going to actualize comes with the help of other people. All the money that you're ever going to have in your pocket is coming from someone else. And the craziest thing about the money that's in your pocket, the money that's in your pocket is not your money. Wait, what? What does he say? It's not my money. It is my money. I work hard for it. No, no, no. Money gives you the power to make decisions. The decisions that you make gives you the opportunities to create, and then that is how it turns your life into either a status where it's pointing in an upward trajectory, or you're in a downward spiral. So the money that you have in your pocket is the ability to make decisions. The more money you have in your pocket, the more decisions you can make. But how do you get the money in your pocket in the first place? You have to be able to collaborate with other people, because all the money that you will ever actualize will come from other people. But how do you collaborate? By being more effective in less time. Now, let's make this all come full circle here. And then we'll get into the sharing the screen. When you think that I'm going to go out here and make $1 million in a year, $50,000 in a month, we asked you earlier if there's a ceiling on that, right? There's truly no ceiling on any of that. Money is infinite in what you can do with money, how much you can create, how much you can accumulate is infinite. So if your ceiling is $1 million a year, somebody else's ceiling can be $2 million a year. So with that being said, there's no true ceiling in what you do when it comes to money. So now you have to realize, how fast do I want the money? Do I want that $1 million? Because everybody here has already touched $1 million. If you're over 30, I'm quite sure you already touched $1 million. Now, see, there's a difference between making $1 million over 12 years and making $1 million in 12 months. So the question I'm asking you is, which one would you rather have? Which one would you rather have? Which one would you rather have? 12 years or 12 months? Some of us already experienced the 12 years. It ain't enough. It ain't enough. It runs out too fast in 12 years. So even that being said, you know that even like reaching for $1 million, I'm gonna be super transparent with you. $1 million is a lot of money, but it's still a little bit of money. It's still a little bit of money. I remember the days I was scripting in my journal. All I need is 100K a year. You know, me and my girlfriend, we talk 100K. I even made a song about it. 100 bands on the checklist. 100 bands came so fast and it went so fast, because money is a tool used to create more opportunity. So if you don't put your money to work, you just lose your money. So inside of your space right now, I want you to start to look at all the things you have in your life right now, inside of your immediate space, wherever you're at. Did you spend money on what you have? If you're inside your house, maybe it's furniture, maybe it's something else. There's money in those things, but the money has stopped. We want to put our money in places where our money becomes more effective in less time, where it multiplies, it doubles, it triples, it continuously grows and evolves. If you haven't noticed that, that's what we're all doing. And your greatest growth is going to come from when you first start doing something within the first, I would say, first 3 to 4 years. You have the greatest growth. So when you step into the business, the entrepreneur world, it's not going to be an overnight thing. Even though you want to be more effective in less time, it's not an overnight thing. It needs to marinate. It needs to take time. It needs to build. So if you're going to allow it to take time, you're going to allow it to build, you need to put structure in place. And one of the things that you want to put in place is a system. Everyone put system in the chat. What is your system like? What is your system? Let me see if I can start pulling up some of these slides. Well, these are screenshots, actually. They're not even slides. Yeah, let me actually bring them up on the screen while I'm talking to you. Put system in the chat. If you know the acronym for system, I want you to go ahead and let me know the acronym for system. Saving yourself significant time, energy, and money. If your current life is draining you of significant time, energy, money, this includes friends, it includes family, and it includes things. So whatever you might purchase, whatever you might, love to do as a vice, or it might even be common to you. Like, let's say for me, I remember I used to have a personal masseuse. She used to come over to my place. She had all her travel equipment. She would set me up. I used to always get her once a week, right? And when I moved from my place, I no longer had the ability to do that because she wasn't around. She couldn't travel to where I was. And I remember I gained a little bit more money back, but then the money that I gained back, I started spending that money in other places. but I'm spending it in places that didn't give a return on me. At least the massage, it was helping me relax. While I was there, I was coming up with ideas. While I'm in the meditative state, I'm in my theta state. She was helping me with the massage, allow me to get some ideas and downloads that I use to create opportunities for others. So I absolutely love that. Now, here's the thing. You have to know where your money is going. That's the first step when it comes to finance, is about being more effective in less time, because you already have money, but how many streams of expenses do you have versus streams of income? I want you to put it in the chat. How many streams of expenses on the left side, and on the right side, I want you to put how many streams of income. So it'll be like 20 versus 10. That's just an example, right? So on the left side is the expenses. On the right side is the income streams. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. Now, when you think about the streams of expenses, we want to say, okay, how can we eliminate some of those streams of expenses to open up more room for cash flow to come in? Because you already have money, but sometimes it's blocked by certain things. Like, for example, this is the biggest thing: subscriptions, right? Netflix and all those other stuff. Yeah, it's good because you can kind of relax your mind on that. But on the other side of it, it's actually stopping you from being who you need to be. I remember I was getting my TV fixed. I used to love playing the video games, the 2K with my brothers, right? So I remember having my TV, is getting it fixed. One of my brothers came over. He didn't know the TV was right there. He accidentally kicked it and it broke, right? It had the little black mark on the screen. And I said, you know what? I'm not even going to actually get this repaired. I was reading this book he gave me, From Trash Man to Cash Man, by Myron Golden. And I remember reading this. And he said, throw out your TV, but also go ahead in your bank account and make sure you separate your bank account with certain categories. So the categories would be going out, like fun. It would be rent. It would be all those other things that would matter to you, right? Food. And you should separate your bank. You should allot your money to that. So you should break up your money. So if you got $1,000, you should break up that. Maybe 200 goes to this, 200 goes to that, 200 goes to this, and 200 goes to that. And now that you start to see where your expenses are and you start to see where your streams are, you now can limit your expenses based upon the money that you have inside that allotted account. If you know you only have $200 for fun activities, you can't go over that. But when you don't have this system, you go over that. So I'll give you a better example. What about when you first started getting the card versus the cash? When you got the cash, remember this old thing, break a 20? And then it's like, oh, I don't want to break the 20, because you already know if you break the 20, 20 is going to evaporate somehow. So you will be stingent on whether to break the 20. But when you have the card, you just swipe. Who here has done that? Where you got the card, you just swipe away. Swipe it a fox. You just start swiping. Okay. So this protects you from just swiping, because now that you know you only have $200 for entertainment and fun, all right, cool. I'm only going to spend a little bit of money. I'm not going to spend all of it. And you have to be diligent to that. Does that make sense? Does that make sense for everybody so far before we move forward to the next thing? Yeah? All right, cool. So are you doing that? Are you doing that? Who's doing it? Who's not doing it? Are you doing it though? All right, cool. I'm gonna start sharing the screen. Let me see the expenses. I didn't see anyone put it in the chat. I didn't see were you scared? Were you nervous? I'm looking across all the channels and no one put it in the chat as far as the streams of expenses that you have versus the streams of income. Remember, no one's really caring about that on your perspective. Like, no one's gonna look at you and go, you got 30 streams of expenses and you only got 2 streams of income. Newsflash, that's most of us. And some of us don't even have 2. Okay. How many expenses do you currently have versus the streams? If you have more expenses than the streams, this could be a problem depending on how much your income is. If you're making over 6 figures and you got like 10 or maybe 15 expenses, depending on those expenses, it could balance out. But for the most part, we want to up those streams of income. We want to up those streams of income. I'm seeing 10 expenses. I'm seeing six. I want y'all to really go deep. I think it's way more than six. I think it's way more than 10. I could just name six right now, and it's way more than six. I want y'all to really think about what you're spending your money on. Anything that can take your money out of your pocket is an expense. Anything that can take money out of your pocket and it doesn't give you money back is an expense. Even if it does give you money back, it's still an expense because you have to expend the money in order to have the money returned. But anyway, I want to share my screen, and the reason why I set you all up to 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 think about these things is because when I do share my screen, I want you all to be very aware of your own situations. So let me go ahead and start sharing this. If you have becoming more effective in less time, go ahead and if you have become more effective in less time, I would say go ahead and get to chapter 4. Go ahead and turn to chapter 4. Go ahead and turn to chapter 4. All right, I'm going to share my screen on that. If you are on Instagram, you won't be able to see the screen, but you can follow along by just listening. All right, let me share that with you all. Okay. So chapter 4, becoming more effective in less time, when it's time to transform. So when you're truly ready for transformation, your life, when you're truly ready to transform your life, to make sure you're on the right mindset, take your life from good to great, you'll learn to become more effective in less time. I'll stop right there really fast and just make sure that settles in. A lot of us are good, but we've been so busy being good that we've forgotten about our greatness. We've been so busy looking to control everything, we forgot how to just exist and allow things to work itself out while you are operating in your alignment. So now, as we continue to read, it reads as follows. It says, in that moment, it becomes more than something you just want. It becomes something you need deep down in your core. You are ready to go from good to great, from dependency to interdependency by creating mutually beneficial relationships in all that you do. As you make this transformation, you'll realize that all of your goals are always bigger than you individually. Remember, we just were speaking about this. All of your greatest potential is going to be actualized with the help of others. So any dream that you have does not matter. It will always be bigger than you, and God designed it this way. All praise is due to the Most High on this because this is a blueprint. You have to understand this. This is not like a restriction. It's a blueprint. So accept the blueprint, and then guess what will happen for you? Blessings. Right? When you be with the lesson, you get the blessing. So as it reads, it says, I told you briefly about my own story in chapter 1, about how I started to compare being paid at a job, doing work for someone else, to being paid to lead a company, to do work for myself. Now, this is one example of how I chose to be more effective in less time. Now, even in that statement, the worker for myself, you don't ever actually work for you. You work for other people because other people is going to pay you. If you work only just for you, you can't take money out your pocket and put it into the other pocket and then go and spend that same money and not watch the money disappear. You have to bring more money in from someone else, which we all understand that's super clear, right? From my perspective, it was simply not effective just to work to bring someone else more money, more credit, when I can actually do the same for myself. Now, remember, we're not saying that you shouldn't get a job. We're not saying that you shouldn't stay at your job. We're not saying that you shouldn't help people make money. That's not what we're referring to here, because you are always going to make money. What I'm saying is the same thing that we always say. If you're the best of the best, top of the top, and you're going above and beyond for someone else, but then you're not going above and beyond for yourself, that's when it becomes a problem. Make sense or doesn't make sense? Let me know. Now, I want you to sit on that. I want you all to sit on that for a second. If there are any questions on that, raise your virtual hand and ask. If you're clear on that and you're good and there's no virtual hands, I'll continue to move forward. Okay, I will continue to move forward. All right, cool. I'm not seeing any virtual hands or anything, so we're going to continue to move. Okay. We have about 20 more minutes, 20 more minutes on the clock. So we're almost done here, 20 more minutes. All right, cool. So everyone, we're going to go down to the part where it says it's in your approach, okay? So right now, I want you to think about the things that you do. I want you to think about what's going on in your life. I want you to think about the way that you renovate, innovate, and collaborate now versus what you did maybe 5 years or what you did 2 years or even 2 weeks ago. And here's what I want you to think about. I used to think that maybe I did things in a harder way compared to other ways that could be much easier. I wonder if I could be doing something and thinking it's working, but in fact, there was an easier and more effective way to do the same thing. Now, first, let's stop right there. Could it be an easier way for you to make the money that you currently make, for you to collect the cash you currently get? Could it be an easier way? Could it be more of it? Could it be more of an abundance? Let me know in the chat. Let me know that. Or are you doing it just super easy for you right now? It's just that's the easiest it can get. You might spend an hour making $20, but can you make $2,000 in an hour? Is it possible for you to do that? Do you think someone else does it? Have you seen other people do it? Okay. I remember making $50,000 a year, and I also remember making $50,000 in a day. And I've shown you all the receipts. Everyone has seen it. And if you haven't seen it, if you watch the presentation that I do on becoming more effective in less time, you'll see the screenshots in there. Now, I can tell you this, it's up to you to do what I'm instructing you to do. Now, if you don't do it, you just don't do it. Okay. Now, I'm giving you universal principles to make it easy for you to do exactly what it is that you do. But I want you to think about it this way. I want you to get paid to be you. Now, the same you when no one else is watching, that same you that's confident and courageous, that same you that's super smart and intelligent, that same you. But for some reason, when we get around other people or we're doing jobs or we're doing certain things, we don't act the same. We play a little bit small, and that's not your fault. You've been taught to play small around other people. Why? Because most of the time you was probably the most intelligent person around, and everyone else wasn't moving at the same speed. So you dumbed down who you are and how you operate just to fit in. Now, let me not assume. Let me just ask you, is that you? If that's you, put Yana in the chat. YANA, you are not alone. Let me pull up the chat. I need to be able to see this. YANA, you are not alone. If you had to dumb down the version of you to make other people feel comfortable, put Yana in the chat. Now, as we continue to read, it reads as follows. The more I thought about it, the more my mind discovered that my approach to many things was a lot harder than it needed to be. Then I thought that most people probably also go through life making choices and approaching situations in a more challenging manner when there could be an easier way. I want you to think about that. Right now, list in the chat. What are you doing that feels so hard that you know could be an easier way? Quitting your job and going full-time entrepreneur, that's not one of them. It's not. Why would you give up something? Why would you give up a stream of income to go figure it out? Why would you do that? I would combine it. I wouldn't do that. So don't put that on the list. But what is hard for you right now that if you just thought about it, there could be an easier way? Let me know. It could be an easier way to do this thing. Let me know in the chat. So as we continue to go, the next paragraph reads as follows. It says, I think we've conditioned ourselves to take the harder route in life. That's because most people think the harder route is more honorable than the easier one. Uh-oh. Yana in the chat, how many of us feel like that? We would take the harder route because we think that's more easier. Let's give an example. Let's give an example. I'm not going to ask for help. I'm going to do it by myself. Yeah, that's more honorable, right? It's harder on you. And you know what happens when you do things by yourself a lot? Over the years, what happens is you start to malfunction when you're around people. You start to not be as clear. You start to not be as sharp when you're around others because you've conditioned yourself to usually only depend on you. And that's the slowest way for success. So now you've dumbed yourself down so much that now when you come around people, you just feel stuck and you feel confused. You feel like there's nobody helping you. This feels like nobody's on your level. It feels like no one understands you. You feel misunderstood. These are the things that start to creep into your mind. But it's a play on the conditioning of being isolated. And you being isolated is a targeted thing. This is not by accident or happenstance. This is designed. You are in a psychological warfare. If you live in this world, there's a warfare going on for your mind. There's a thing because we know whomever has your attention has your ascension. This is why God wants you to pray to God and not false idols, because if you pray to false idols in your mind, it's going to start to make sense to you that that route is best for you because whomever has your attention has your ascension. So you have to learn to be in alignment with what it is that you're setting forth, because if not, you're going to be doing things that you think is working for you and it's really not working for you. And I know that from my own experience, not just even going through the Quran or going through the Bible. I'm talking about from my own experience. I'm seeing this. Make sense? So you can look at your own life and see these things too, where you make harder choices because you're choosing to just do it on your own and you're not getting anywhere. Or you've been doing this thing for so long and you finally just stop. And it's like, what did you do all of those? Why did you spend all of those years working towards this and you just gave it up? So I want you to think your approach, the way you're operating. And when you start to think that, all right, am I operating in a way or in a manner that's going to allow me to accelerate? And one of the ways that you're going to know if it is or not is if you have other people around you helping you grow. If you are constantly doing it alone, unfortunately, you will not excel in that. That is not by accident. That is a design, and God designed it this way because by default, we're supposed to be in groups. This is why you can't reproduce yourself without having another person, because by default, God wants community. Now, this is not to be taking you to the church for entrepreneurs, the mosque for the moguls, or the kingdom hall for the kings and queens right now, but you know that's just me. I'm just a spiritual person, and I've always been this way. I've been a leader in this fashion. So when it comes out, just I'm not looking to ruffle any feathers here. I'm just speaking candidly. If I can continue to speak candidly, let me know in the chat, right? Let me know in the chat. So when I say that we are conditioned to work harder than we need to, that's a real thing. And it's when I was at the corporate job, I used to say this to everybody. I said, hey, look, and I love that they implemented, they called it Summer Fridays, right? So Summer Fridays, basically like a half day. And I'm not saying they made that after me. I'm not taking credit for that because they probably had that many years or whatever. But the point that I'm saying is I said, we don't really need to work 8 hours because let's just be honest. We work 4 hours and then we might combine out of the next 4 hours that we work a real 1 hour. Like, so technically, you probably work 5 hours. And now, maybe if I'm making this up, y'all let me know. But do you need all 8 hours of your work, or would 5 be suffice? Like, can you get all of what you do in 8 and 5? Can you get all of what you do in 8 and 5? I know I could. This is when I started to realize that being more effective in less time was the key to your success. And that's why the employer hired you. Wait a minute. Let that sink in. Your employer hired you, this person, that person, that person, because doing that made them be able to delegate. Now they have more freedom and flexibility. So when you want freedom and flexibility, are you delegating tasks? Are you finding people that can duplicate your skill set? Are you creating community around you to ease the burden, or are you a one-man band? That if you don't get this as an aha moment, there's nothing I can do for you, because I'm showing you in real time by the scenarios that if you just pay attention to the clues that success is leaving, it's going to show you. The reason why your employer is able to make the money that they make, collect the cash that they have, is because they hire people to delegate to. But let me just make it clear, just because you delegate people to do activities, they have to still be able to be qualified to do the activities. You can't get a Joe Schmo doing activities because you're gonna move them out the way. Get out the way. If you want something done right, you're gonna do it yourself. That's a poor man's mindset because you don't have qualified people around you. If you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. That's a poor man's mindset. Okay. So sometimes the easier approach is the more honorable approach than the harder approach. You doing it all alone, doing it by yourself, is going to make the road longer, more strenuous. And guess what? You'll burn out and fizz out, and then you'll fade out. And guess what? You'll black out. I done seen it happen. I done seen people work so hard they work themselves into the grave. I done see people who say, "Oh, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z." They done did all the parts. They play all the hats. Guess what? You play all the hats. You had nothing left to give to yourself. So you still burn out. You're never going to do it alone, ladies and gentlemen. And I know, unfortunately, this whole mentorship space has been infiltrated with people just taking opportunities and taking advantage of people. So you all get into these mentorships, and you're not with a person like me who's actually pouring love into you and caring about your person's success. You're getting into mentorships with people who just care about the money. You pay them and then they go ghost. You're not even paying me, and I'm right here in front of your face. Oh yeah, just because you want me to pay you. No, this is set up that way you can get the love because you have to understand you have to reach people on all different levels. Not everyone is going to be qualified to work with me. My clients are six-figure, seven-figure clients. Not everybody who I speak to makes six figures and seven figures. But the way that I got to where I was at, but I needed to become more effective in less time. I saw who was doing stuff. I saw people's talents and I saw their greatness. And I said, you know what? My ability to be able to know, because I play sports, and this is why I love sports though, because playing quarterback, playing wide receiver, playing point guard, playing center, it allowed me to see how to utilize the people around me. I know strengths and I know weaknesses. I'm good at developing people. I'm good at it. When you were on the boat and Rebel was talking about Sunshine, Moya, a lot of those people in the background, they came from my development tree. My development tree. You go back and look at all of our history, you go look at all our videos, you start to look like, dang, crew's been I have people, and I don't talk about it enough. And that's why I said this year I need to do that because I need to actually show people what we've done so we can have a bigger impact and a bigger reach. Imagine if I'm having the same amount of reach as Ramel, and then Jamel has the same amount of reach, and we have more reach or whatever the case may be. How more powerful would we be? So these are the things that we've been talking about. So you said, all right, cool. Because Ramel didn't do it on his own. I didn't do it on my own. Jamel doesn't do it on his own. We do it together. That's what we're showing you. We're showing you the power dynamic lies within the people. You are the people. Don't forget that you are the people. When you say you love to help people, but you neglect yourself, that's you neglecting the people. That's the harder route. So let's continue to go because I really want you to understand what we're saying as far as the clarity and direction piece here today. So far, what are you picking up right now? So far, what are you picking up right now? Let me know in the chat. I need to see some feedback. Remember, I'm not here to talk at you. That's not what I do. I'm not here to entertain you in that way. Sometimes at nighttime, we might entertain you because we talking about relationships and getting all crazy. But I'm here to inspire you, but I'm here to listen to you. I'm here to see where you're at and help you get clarity and direction. So if you don't give me anything to give you clarity and direction on, then I can't really be useful. God is going to use me. I'm the vessel. So when we say all praise due to the Most High, that's because we're just the vessels. When you say God is the God, give God the glory, yes, we're just the vessels. I'm spiritual. I'm already connected to God. I'm already connected. That's why I'm in the position I'm in right now. I'm already connected. And that's why you're in the position you're in. Your level of connection to God, right? You have to be spiritual because you're a spirit in a body. Now, why would that be important? That's important because if you don't know you, how could you know anyone else? We can see the screen? No, I'll share the screen again. So far, are we cooking? Let me know. What's happening? So far, are we cooking? Are you getting some food? What's happening? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. All right. So we're going to the second part, second paragraph here. What I've come to learn is that easier doesn't mean less honorable. Easier could mean less resistance, more flow, and more abundance. Are y'all catching that? Are you catching that? So, for example, have you ever had a predetermined thought for what an outcome of a given situation would be? Let me know in the chat. Oh, I'm not gonna go to the barbecue because I know if I go to the family barbecue, so and so's gonna be there. They're gonna piss me off, and I'm not gonna enjoy myself. Whatever, right? That's an example of it. Have you ever been reluctant to go somewhere, but you did, and then you didn't want to leave by the end of it? Yes or no? Let me know in the chat. Yes or no? Now, I want to stop right there because to me, I want to share a sentimental thing to you all. My mom was sick. She had cancer, brain tumors, collapsed lungs. She's in a hospital, and these hospitals are not treating her well. I hate when I go in the hospital. There's a feeling that I feel when I go in the hospital. It feels like crime. It's an unhinging feeling when you walk in a hospital. It feels weird. It feels like it feels like I can't get the term out. Let me think for a second. It feels like guessing with your health, with guessing with your life. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like people are making guesses with your life. It feels like it's scientist experiments. Like I want you to think about a scientist in a white coat, right? And then you also think about the doctors in the white coat. Something start to happen is a similarity here, right? Like when they say we're testing, and no disrespect to any doctors. This is why when I speak to my doctors, I love my doctors holistically. Okay, Dr. Giselle, let them know, okay? If you need some holistic health, y'all go to Dr. Giselle. All right, natural health concierge, natural underscore health underscore concierge. Now, I want you to think about this way. So I go into the hospital and they look like they play with your life and guess the outcome. Like we're going to give you treatment. We're going to run some tests. Like it just seems guessy. And it doesn't seem curie. Why doesn't it seem like a curie thing? Well, because it's a business that prides on people's sickness that we have to pay for, and then they overcharge us. Anything that someone overcharges you on, they don't care about you. Like, sometimes you might see me pull up with the nice car. I don't pull up with the nice car in certain places because they start to charge you based upon how you look. I had to learn that. People would judge you and they would take advantage of how you look. You can't even just be nice. They want to up the prices on you. Anyway, so my mom used to be in the hospital, and I used to hate going to the hospital to see my mom like that. Lost all of that weight. But I love being by her side. I love being next to her. So when I got there, I never wanted to leave. And I was always the last person in the room. And just even thinking about my own cancer situation, my mom laying on her deathbeds, helpless. When you are in a top facility, she's paying top dollar, and you can't help this woman holistically. You have to give her pharmaceutical medicine that's actually breaking down her body. You giving her chemotherapy that's hurting her and making her bones brittle. Like you have to see between all of these things. And what I'm saying is, in that approach, right? It may seem like the more honorable one is to go to the pharmaceutical doctor. And it may seem like that was the easiest one, right? But also going to the holistic route could be the harder one in your mind. I went the holistic route. I was able to survive, but that was only because I saw what the pharmaceutical world did to my mom and what it did to countless other people, like my grandmother, all these other people who passed away just because of malpractice. Now, we don't want to talk about those things, but if you go look up statistics on death, right? There's murders and those other things and accidents, but murders aren't even the top cause of death. You know who's in the top cause of death? Hospitals, malpractice. Anyway, I never wanted to leave her side when I got there. And I used to think, like, why was I doing that? Why did I feel like I didn't want to go? I was so reluctant to going. But when I got there, I just felt so like, Mom, I'm going to be next to her as long as I can. And that reminded me, just like how we do other things. Like I mentioned about the barbecue or mentioned about going someplace. You are dreading to go to this place. But then when you get there, you realize, wow, this was such an amazing time. I had a great time at this event. I want you to think about that because life is not happening to you, it's happening through you. So if you start to operate that life is happening through you, you're going to change your frequency. You're going to be able to change the frequency of other people around you. That's when you start hitting different levels of leadership. When you around me, do you feel inspired? Be honest. Be honest. You let me know. When you get around me, are you feeling inspired? When you get around my brothers, my family, do you feel inspired? When you get around the community, you come to the events, do you feel inspired? Let me know. Let me know. So this is you. You're that person. When you're around your family and your friends, they love calling on you. That's why they love asking you for help. But guess what? If you don't maximize on you, you can't help them. Okay? So as we continue to read, we're down here. Let me see if you can see on the screen. Look, on the screen, we're down here. So instead of creating a predetermined outcome of a situation, there would be more flow, abundance, and happiness if you set an intention and then see where the flow takes you within the alignment of that intention. When you think about cash flow, you think about flow, you think about currency, you think about current, you think about waves. Your life is going to go in waves. There's times you're going to have a lot of money, and then there's going to be waves where you have a little bit of money. But remember, it's all about progression. So each time you're crashing into the shore, you're getting further and further up. You're making your life better. So what I'm asking you to think about right now is instead of making a predetermined outcome about what things are going to happen and controlling everything, give up some of your control because all of your potential is going to happen with other people. So you need to leave some room for flow for other people to help you grow. So you might be stingy on your money. I don't want to give my money up because I went to these other mentorships and they took my money and they didn't do. Okay, what did you do? Did you show up? Did you change who you were, or you just gave people money and expecting them to make a change? You gave them money expecting them to wave a magical wand and you changed. That's not how it works. You gave the money to hold you accountable. You gave the money to give you information. You gave the money to put you in a situation and environment around people to give you what we call opportunity for you to become the most attractive character. Did you do that? Or were you slacking off? Were you playing small? Were you hiding in a corner and your camera off when you know your camera could be on? Are you sending messages to people that's raising their hand and you getting to know other people? Or are you just by yourself? When the camera cuts off, do you just go right back to your family and you're mad that you live around a family who's not moving and no one's helping you? Or are you leveraging the situations that you're in to meet people to really build true connection to take your life to the next level? Y'all said I could be real, so forgive me if I'm being a little passionate because I know not everybody can handle the passion. But I know I got the best of the best, the top of the top, the cream of the crop in this building, right? And if you're in this Zoom room, right, I want to give you some keys. And so let me finish out this last thing because we get ready to close in less than 6 minutes, right? So as we continue to read, it reads as follows. It says, what if I told you the key to being more effective in less time is as simple as finding an easier, more effective approach than your current approach for achieving your goals? The truth of the matter, it is. That's it. We are just overcomplicating things. And like if you're with me, like sometimes I get around some of my friends or some of my brothers, I really love them. But sometimes they kind of irk my nerve a little bit because they just overcomplicate things. And it's just like, it just shuts me down a little bit because it's like, bro, just overcomplicating it. Stop doing that. But I get why they do that. They do that because they're used to being alone. When you're used to being alone, you can't help but to overcomplicate it because who the heck are you talking to? Think about it this way. When they give you the scenarios, right, about the devil on one shoulder and the angel on another shoulder, all that is your consciousness. It's a representation of consciousness because in your consciousness, you're going to have a lower self, you're going to have a higher self. A lot of times it's easier just to go with the lower self. The lower self, the words that the lower self speaks is louder. The words that the higher self speaks is a little calmer. It's a little faint. So you have to really be intentional when you listen to the higher self. But it's not actually happening that way. But that's just a representation, a symbolic way to show you that this is what they're dealing with. This is what we're all dealing with. So if you are a person that's constantly by yourself, you're going to be haunted more by the loudest voice. The loudest voice is going to tell you to be doubtful. The loudest voice is going to tell you to over-explain stuff. The loudest voice is going to make you feel like you are always being made to be wrong. The loudest voice is going to make it seem like people like to blame you for stuff. The loudest voice is going to tell you things that's inaccurate about you. because that's the voice that's trying to keep you safe. It's not the devil actually doing it. There are jinns, there are entities, there are all of these things that exist in this world. But what I'm saying to you that there's not one on you. Okay, what's on you is the fact of what's in you. If you are negatively speaking inside, internally to yourself, what comes out of you that's on you is negative energy. So then now people stop being around you, right? Or you stop being around those people. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Put y'all in the chat if you stop being around people because they drain your energy. And they don't really mean to. They're not looking to. Some people do. But most people, they don't mean to. They mean it with all love and sincerity. And a lot of times they might do this. They might overtalk. And if they overtalk, it's not that they are just, this might be you, right? This might be you. But being that they might overtalk, it's not that they want to just be a mumble mouth or just talk a lot. Being that they're by themselves, they don't get to express how they feel often. So it feels relieving for them to be able to express, but also being that they're overthinkers, they start wanting to fill up space because that's how they are when they're by themselves. So when you know this about people, you don't make them wrong about it, but you do want to talk about it and you do want to find ways so that way you can coexist with each other, or else you might bump heads just because of a simple clash like that, just because you're used to being by yourself. That you have to get that. Does that make sense? Because it's not easy being the best of the best. Because you're gonna be the person that's the underdog. You're gonna be the person that's the odd one. When you think about being the underdog, you're thinking about being the odd person. I'm telling you right now, this is a matrix. You are Neo. You are the one. See, Neo is just they mix the letters up, but it really is just the one. You are the one. And when you're the one, you're going to be an oddball. When you're the one, you will made to be feel odd. You will be the odd man out. You will feel like, why me? But like we said on Friday, it's not why me, it's try me. You have to get comfortable with people trying you. Now, you don't have to stay around people that's trying to test you too much, but I'm saying people will try you. Let them try you. Let them get to know you. Be around them. Be your authentic self, because at the end of the day, you want to get paid to be you. If you want to get paid to be you, put the trophy emoji in the chat. The way you're going to get paid to be you is if you're authentically you and you have high-level characteristics that allow other people to bring out their best gifts along with you, but you're not afraid to tell people things. You're not afraid to tell people. I'm not saying be mean. I'm not saying be hurtful. I'm saying be real. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be a person. So as we continue to go down here, right, we want to make sure we find the easier approach. What is easier than doing it alone? What's easier than doing it alone? What's easier than doing it alone? I need to see it because we get ready to close. So I don't want to go overtime with you all. Doing it together, right? That's why we say strength in numbers are better together. But what's hard about doing it together? Getting people on the same page, right? So what I want you to think about, what's easier than trying to get people on the same page? What's easier? How would you be more effective at getting on the same page with someone? What's easier than trying to put somebody on the same page as you? What's easier? Well, the answer is doing it with someone who's already doing it. Stop looking to get people who don't want what you want. Stop doing it. Stop. It's not helping you. It's hurting you. Stop asking people to do things that they're not really capable of. Just pay for it. Like, so the other day, yesterday, I'm on the street. I'm in Times Square. I'm like, okay, yeah, you know what? I'm going to get some photos and get a couple videos. I'm not getting out the car and I'm shooting my video. I'm just going to pay the guys on the street who do the video. I'm not gonna haggle you about your price. What's your price, bro? All right, cool. I might ask for a discount because if I'm giving you more business, yeah, I want you to be able to look out for me. That's good business. That's how you keep people around, right? That's why I give you all of you crew coins. When you buy with me, I give you your money back. That's so you can buy other things at a lower rate. That means you get a discount across the entire board. Now, if you don't know about your crew coins, that means you weren't invested in the Love Plus platform. So I would tell you right now, go ahead and see how many crew coins you have. Go ahead and get these things. If you don't have to become more effective in less time book, but you have the crew coins, now you can go get that book at a lower rate. And anybody who has to become more effective in less time book or audio or ebook, whatever how you see it, you have access to our Becoming More Effective in Less Time Telegram. If you've already purchased this book and you need access to the Telegram, put it in the chat. I need access. If you didn't purchase this book and you want the book, you want the audio, you need access to this, put I want the book. And I'll put both links in the, well, I can't put both links in the chat. I'll put the link for the book in the chat and I would directly message the people who've actually got the book and then I will make sure you get into the Telegram. We're also, quick side note, we're also getting ready to start our women empowerment movement. So if you want to be part of a women's group, let me know. We're going to do the same thing with the men. If you want to be part of the men's empowerment group, let me know. We will start that too. But you must have, in order, it's not a paid thing right now. In order to have access to those groups, you must have the Become More Effective in Less Time book. Clear? All right, cool. So as we get ready to close out this session and we come to this last paragraph, as you master becoming more effective in less time, you will start to see that you have more room in your life to fully engage, experience, and enjoy it. See, that's the beauty about becoming more effective in less time, because you get to enjoy it at its fullest. You get to do something at its highest. Why wouldn't you want to live your greatest life and have a lot of years to live it? Why do you want to get to your greatest years of life and only have a short time to live it? Like, for example, one of our uncles passed away. He kept saying to us, "Hey, we're gonna invest. I'm gonna invest with you once I finish my retirement. Once I'm retired, I'll invest with you." And then 2 years later, he passed away right after he retired. He didn't even get to enjoy what he was working for this entire time. As we continue to read, it reads as follows. This is when beautiful things start to happen seemingly out of nowhere. But you will know better. They're not out of nowhere. Not even at all. See, the thing that's happening is because you've created a space for them to appear. Because you are creating your reality. You are creating your reality. So you pushed aside the chaos of life, right? Or the chaoticness of life. And then you chose to create a space for peace and fulfillment. So that things bring you those, well, so that those things bring you the joy, those things appear in your life, and now they become part of your flow. So when we say to you, get into that flow state, you're going to have to force the progress right now. But once you force that progress, what's going to happen for you is that life is going to seem magical. Like, I want y'all to think about it from my perspective. So, yes, we put up money to make sure we can get the yacht. We put up money to make sure we can have the whole entire experience. And this is coming from the money that we acquired within our facilities and all the other good stuff. But it's worth it to give to our community, because what we're doing is showing you the dynamic. We're giving you the example. But what's so beautiful about doing that is that it comes back to you tenfold. See, I want you to understand. This is why I want everyone to start marketing their businesses, because I've been a person who would market to people in person. Like, I'm good. That's my thing. I think I'm best at in-person marketing. People see me, they automatically, "Oh, you model?" "Yeah, I model." "Yeah." So I get opportunities to sell my looks, and I get opportunities to sell my intellectual property. So I want you to think about how you can get paid to be you by the examples that we're showing. Now, inside of this Becoming More Effective in Less Time book, this entire blueprint is going to show you how to get paid to be who you are. And it's going to happen naturally and effortless, because you're setting the example for people to see you as this version. You get what I'm saying? The reason why you're going to get paid to be who you are is because the characteristics that you have are so attractive. People want to be around you. The things that you offer to people is so well put, is so well explained, and it's easy for them to interpret. They know what they're getting. Not only that, it's effective. The strategies that you have, magnificent, right? I make websites, platforms. I do funnels, do all those things. But I used to do that full time. I went to school for that. I used to do that full time, and then I stopped doing it full time. But now I'm back on doing that. So if you need a website, if you need a way to market your business, you let me know. We can work on that. I love bringing up Albertine all the time, because Albertine is a testament of that. Because I remember she was on one of these calls, and I told Albertine, you're the best of the best, top of the top. I need you to see it. Like, smile some more. Be that version of you. And she was like, "Yeah, I smile, but right now I just observe. I'm an observer." But Albertine, if you're just observing, people are gonna see you and they're gonna think that you're just upset about something, because you know how when we observe, we get the little brow like that. That's how we look when we observe it. Like when I was walking through the streets of New York back in the day, I had to put the mean mug on so they know, yeah, don't come over here, right? You know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. I don't do that anymore though. It might come out here and there, but I don't really do it anymore. The purpose I'm saying is you have to train people around you to see how you are so that way you can get the results back to you because life is about image and reflection. So the more that you have an image of yourself and you portray this image that's for real, I'm talking about authentic, the life that you have will naturally give the information back to you. It would naturally give you what you produce. If you plant apple seeds, it will give you apple trees, which gives you more apple seeds for you to plant to get more apple trees. That gives you more seeds for you to plant. Do you see the cycle that's happening? So if you are more authentic, you're going to attract people that's more authentic. If you are more loving, you're going to attract people that's more loving. So you must be the reflection of who you are, but you must do it in the way where you're being more effective in less time because that is the key to it all. If this is my final I would say analogy before we shut it down. I'll stop the screen share. So if you are like in your life and you're creating an opportunity where you're loving people, you're giving people opportunity to work with you, and you're working for them and you're helping them, all that's going to do is open up the door for more people to do it for you. So if you are in a safe space right now where you say, okay, I want my finances to grow, you have to be diligent about growing your finances for the finances you already have. You can't be in debt so much that you're like, damn, I just want to make $1 million a year and you're just in debt, but it doesn't make sense. You're not climbing out of debt. You need to first climb out the debt. And then once you climb out that debt, the life is going to pay you right back because you acquired the skill set, the image to reflect it, and then boom, you're going to shoot up. I promise you that's what's going to happen. It happens all the time to everyone. This is why when you see people have quantum leaps, you see people have these things that go out of nowhere. And there's also people who have one hits. You know, these one hit wonders? That can't be you. The people who have one hit wonders are people who got lucky. They was in the right place at the right time and then they just faded off because they didn't have any solid foundation around what they built. So their house of cards got blown down. Make sense? Don't let that be you. So with personal development and business development, you have the life you love. And without it, you have a life you have. So what I'm going to do in the chat, I'll put the link in the chat for Become More Effective in Less Time book. This is just the book, just the ebook. This is not the audio. If you want the audio, you can ask me for the audio bundle, but this is just the book. Okay. Actually, you know what I'll put in the chat? I'll put both. I'll put both in the chat. And you can make your choice. All right, real quick, as we get ready to close, what are your takeaways? What are your takeaways in the chat? What are your takeaways in the chat? What are your takeaways? As we wrapping up from today, I'm asking you if you need the access to the Telegram. If you already have the book or you already have the audio, you need access to the Telegram, let me know so I can get you access. If you are on Instagram, just DM me so I can get you access to the Telegram. If you are on YouTube, DM me on Instagram and I'll get you access. Or you can leave a comment on YouTube and I'll get you access. If you are in the Zoom and you need access, let me DM you directly and give you the access. All I need from you, though, is a screenshot of you having the book. Because I don't know if you got it from Amazon. Amazon had the rights. I don't have the rights to the book right now. So Amazon has the rights. So I don't know who bought. I don't know what's going on Amazon. All right. All I know is if you get the direct link from Love Plus, then I'll know who got it or whatever. Otherwise, you have to send me a screenshot and show me. So here's the bestseller guidebook right here. I'll put it in the chat. This is the bestseller guidebook. Once again, this will take your life to another level, help you go from good to great. The same way that I did. And everyone who saw my journey, you see it was a fast rise and it's still going. But I want you to know that I'm empowering you to have your own level of success. Your level of success will look different from me. You'll probably be better than me because if you're learning from me, you should be better than me. That's just how I look at it, okay? You should be better than me. All right. Each Monday, we have the Mindset Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our networking calls, our mindset reset. So if you want, I will put those links in the chat too. So this is the Becoming More Effective in Less Time guidebook. It's a funnel. If you go through the funnel, you can get the whole entire bundle, or you can just get the single book. Okay. Cool. Let me go ahead and make sure. If you need access, DM me. Don't put it in the chat on Instagram. DM me. Go to my direct message and send me, hey, I need access to the Telegram, and I'll send you that link. I can't just post it out, unfortunately. Other thing, mindset resets. Let me put those links in the chat for you all. Once again, I thank you for showing up. You are the best of the best, top of the top, cream of the crop, and your presence is loved and is felt and it's appreciated. And I cannot be the person I am without all of you. So I thank you for pouring into me as much as you see me pouring into you. You're somebody amazing, somebody special, and I value you. So let's continue to keep the community of love, connectivity, and financial prosperity. Mindset reset. This is the mindset reset link in the chat. Mindset reset link in the chat. Also, too, take advantage of this. I don't see a lot of you taking advantage of it. Albertine does, but not a lot of you take advantage of this. Even if you're not directly mentored by me, you still can text me and get information. You can ask me questions and I'll give it to you. Now, it's one thing to get on a call. If you want to get on a call, you have to pay for that. But if you want to text me, it's at my discretion of how fast I can get back to you. But at least you still get information that's free directly from me. So don't miss that. If you want my number, let me know in the chat and I'll put my number in the chat. If you want my number, let me know in the chat. Only way I'm putting my number in the chat is you let me know. I'm not just randomly throwing my number out there. That's crazy. And this link is for the Mindset Mondays. Okay. All right. This link is for the Mindset Mondays. If you are interested in hosting a class on our Love Plus platform, if you're interested in the women's group or the man's group, let me know. I did see somebody say, I think it was a guy who said that, right? Was that Ty? Who said that they wanted to be part of the women's group? As part of the men's and women's group, we do bring them together and we have a whole group conversation because men and women are supposed to be able to talk to each other. How can you learn about women from a man? So I'm just a man. You can't learn all about women from me. You need to hear voices from a woman, right? You need to know about a woman and vice versa. A woman cannot teach a boy how to become a man. He needs a man in his life. So same things, all right? We want to keep it simple. But one thing I learned is that how could we expect to have great fathers and great relationships when as children, they take the dolls away from the boys and they make the girls play house alone. You don't see the fruits of that happening today? They make the girls play house alone, and now why you think they're single mothers? Uh-oh. No, y'all don't want me to get into that. That's why I said late night. Y'all don't want me to get into late night stuff because I'll start having y'all feeling crazy. But y'all love it though. People actually love it. I think they love it more than a morning call because it's just so true, authentic, and it's just about natural situations. But I think people like to see me go off like that sometimes. The links are in the chat. The links are in the chat. Go ahead and get that. The links are in the chat. If you don't have access to our Love Plus platform, I'm going to give you a free pass to our arena. This is going to be the free pass in the chat. I'll put a free pass in the chat. This is for our personal development and business development. Whoever needed, remember, don't be shy right now. Speak about what you want because I can directly message you all. So if you want a particular thing that I've mentioned, let me know so I can give it to you. Because once we get off the call, you already know what happens. You forget about things and you go back to the life you've been living. Okay. We're done here, by the way. If you do need to leave, you can leave. All I'm doing is just like basically after we have an event, we're kind of like sticking around and talking to people. That's what I'm doing right now. Like after we have an event, we kind of stick around and talk. So that's what I'm doing. The class part is done. But if you would like to stick around, you can. You're more than welcome to. If you need to go, don't feel like you're being held hostage, okay? Let me know, clarify which link you need so I can give you the correct link, okay? Clarify which link you need. Remember, we're giving you free passes to our personal and business development platform, which is called Love Plus. This is the #1 business and development platform. Like literally, if you do what we have instructed here, your life will change hands down. This is why we're able to give it to you for free because once your life changes, you're going to want to be with us anyway. But also, I believe in not charging for everything. We don't need to charge for everything. The things that's more time consuming and more personalized, then you have to charge for that, because otherwise, then how can I really serve you, right? But things that are more universal that you can plug and play, they don't really need to charge for that. You can just go, do what you need to do with that. But we give top quality performance here. That's what we're about, top quality performance. That's why we work in a leadership business. That's what we're doing. Which link do you need, Jill? Which link do you need in the chat? Any other questions? Any other concerns? If you have a question, raise your virtual hand. I will answer your question. If you are on Instagram, just type it in the chat. Just type it in the chat. If you haven't followed me, go ahead and follow me now on the Instagram. If you haven't followed and subscribed to our YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you need access to anything after this call, just DM me whatever you need access to, and I'll send you those links. Just in case you get off and you don't know where I'm at, here's the Instagram in the chat. I'm always going to be on Love Plus, and you can always message the support, and I'll be able to see it. But if you are on Instagram as well, you can go to Instagram. All right, that's the link right there. If you need to DM me, you click that, you DM me whatever it is that you need, okay? So DM me. With that being said, I don't see any hands up. I'm getting ready to close it out. You are the best of the best, the top of the top, the cream of the crop, but we need to go out with some music. We need to go out with some music. Wait, I see a hand coming up. Is that Giselle? Giselle, what's going on? I know you had said you came late. Let me send you a request to unmute.
Got it. I was asking for the Monday link. Is it supposed to say Mondays? Because it says at the end MODAYS.
Oh, yeah.
And when I click, it's not, it says that it doesn't exist.
Ah, good catch, good catch. It is supposed to say Mondays, not Mondos. Mondays. All right, so let me do that for you right now. Thank you for that catch.
Yeah, I have it in my agenda. I wish I knew this earlier.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you for today's info.
you're right on
Very-
time, though. You're right on time. So, you're good. Absolutely. And remember, you can always text me. You might not get the phone call. Phone calls, you have to pay for those, but you can text and still get information. So if y'all want my number, just let me know in the chat. Say, put the number, I'll put the number in there, okay?
I please have your number. With that being said,
Yeah, for sure. Any other question, any other concern? Do you need something while you're up here?
I'm actually going to go through the links, and if I have any questions, can I text you or
Definitely
send
text.
it in Instagram? I did request in Instagram access to Telegram as well.
Okay, so you have the Become More Effective in Less Time book?
I don't.
Okay, so once you get the book, if you get it from the link, we can see it. If you get it from Amazon, we won't be able to see it. So if you get it from Amazon, you have to show us a screenshot. If you get it from the link that we put in the chat, we'll be able to see it, and we'll just send it right to you once you have that. But here's the number in the chat, okay?
I'm working on that right now.
Check your personal chat. That's the number in there.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
All right, no problem. We'll be seeing you soon. All right, great stuff. So, hey, Victoria, I see you getting on, but you came way late, Victoria. We're done now. So once again, we're going out with some music. If you do have a question, if there's a question, go ahead and put it in the chat before I close up. All right. What I can do is I can close down the Zoom because there's no more hands on the Zoom, and I can keep it open for the Instagram. But let me check the YouTube really quick because I know YouTube was going on. Who said they need access? Dr. Giselle, that was you on YouTube? Okay, we'll get you. All right, cool. Cool. With that being said, go out there and be amazing. No more negative self-talk. See the notifications and not the negatives. Understand that you are the best of the best, top of the top, cream of the crop. Your next level is loading. Let's go.
Hey. Stepping in the lab, this a brainwave shift. Turn pain into game, every loss uplift. City on my back, but my posture rich. Used to dream in the dark, now the switch they lit. Neurons fire when I say my name. Rewire the wise, I don't play that same. Old code in my head, had to break that chain.
Right
Now the
back.
pathway paved with the winds I claim. Yeah, power, money, respect, I evolve with it. New pathways in my head, watch me solve with it. Change, transform, I was built to collect more life, more growth, that's the real asset, yeah. Power, money, respect, put it all on deck. New pathways when I move, every thought direct. Change, transform, I was born to connect. More life, more growth, that's the real asset. Pocket full of plans, I don't chase loose change. Every dollar just data, I expand my range. Stack base, stack skills, then the paper grows. I invest in the mind, that's how favor flows. Had to silence every doubt, that's a loud old voice. Now I edit my beliefs like a ground up choice. Turn fear into fuel, turn stress into steps. Every setback, sketching out the stairs I rep. Yeah, I pivot when the path look blocked off. If the road ain't there, then I blast off. From the gutter in my thoughts to a glass loft. Had the bed on my brain, that's a jackpot. Yeah, yeah. Power, money, respect, I evolve with it. New pathways in my head, watch me solve with it. Change, transform, I was built to collect. More life, more growth, that's the real asset, yeah. Power, money, respect, put it all on deck. New pathways when I move, every thought direct. Change, transform, I was born to connect. More life, more growth, that's the real asset.